Hello, welcome back to Mitch Explorer. So today I wanted to kind of resolve my curiosity and also from some emails I had as well regarding what do they get paid? The ship crew, right? Good question. So the information wasn't that hard to find. The problem is that the sources are so varied. They're so myriad, you get some here, some here. So what I did, I researched the top three sources for cruise ship pay. Then I took the median, the average, right? So the first thing I did, I broke it down into 5 different parts. There's the deck hands, right? The engine staff, the hotel staff, they call it, the medical staff, and the wellness staff. So I think because I see them all the time, I want to look at the food service worker first. Like, what do they get paid? These people who go around making sure I have my drinks or my food, who always seem to have a smile on their face. There's always working these long hours, How much do they get paid? So the average for the food service worker is $34,500 per year on average, okay? So number 2, I thought about how about those guys, the deckhands, You see those guys out there working 24 hours a day. Sometimes I'm up to like 2 o'clock in the morning, right? My wife and I will sit out there watching the sun, watching the stars, and listen to the sea splash out there. It's just beautiful, right? Then we see these guys doing this and doing that, and they're the deckhands. So how much are the deckhands making every year? They make on average $35,800. So there we go for those guys. No matter how big the ship is or how small it is, yes, it's going to be clean, but someone has to organize that cleaning. It's going to be the cleaning manager. So they make about $36,900 per year. And then here's one for me, right? This one I was always curious about, right? But the ranges go from very low to very high. It was difficult to find an average pay for this job. The job is entertainer, right? The ones who sing for you sometimes or play guitar. The variables are different. It could be how many years they have in the business, what people want to hear, what genre they play, country, rock, jazz, whatever. They had so many variables, right? And also, too, the theater people, they are also in that bracket. So it's a big bracket, right? So I took the average again. And so for the entertainers, it's about $39,900 per year. Yeah, for sure I was curious because I'm a vet. I'm an Air Force vet, but I had a lot of Navy friends, So this one I was curious. The boatswain's mate, what do they get paid, right? So just so you know, they kind of help out with making sure the deck equipment machinery works, all those things work as they should. They make sure that happens for you, right? So these guys are very important for any cruise you go on, right? So they make about $48,000 a year. And again, this is the average, you guys, okay? The 3 companies that I called about and looked about online, this is the average, about $48,000 a year, okay? Next is the receptionist, right? So they say receptionist, right? But they're the ones who are working at the kiosk for you. They're working those the tickets. They receive you from the ship. When you come onto embarkation. Either one, they're there for you. They call that title though receptionist as far as his jobs are concerned, right? So the middle of the road was for receptionist was about $48,000 a year. It's a pretty busy job. They're really working it hard. Every time I go see them, they're always just working hard for us. So about $48,000 a year. Another important job, of course, right? The HVAC technician, the air con, the heater, making sure those things work for you, right? Oh my gosh. Especially for the air con when you're going towards the med, right? You gotta have that thing working good. So the HVAC techs make about $54,000 a year for their job as far as my research shows. Also, you have the guys who they're called the fitters. The fitters also they deal with the metal components of ships. They make sure those things work right. That's a very important job too. You might not know who these guys are when you pass them by on the deck, but that's what they do. That's who they are. They make $54,000 a year. Then we have, of course, whether it be on dry land or on the water, the plumber. I was like, yeah, we need a plumber. We had a plumber come. Our second cruise, yeah. We had a plumber come to our room, so he was there like 5 minutes, took care of it. He was gone, right? But so the plumber makes about $56,900 a year. So that's for the plumber. But then we always think about too, the security officers. I haven't personally yet seen a security officer in action yet, so that's a good thing, right? who wants to be on a cruise and see the security guys in action, right? You're hoping people can behave right and do the right thing, right? So, but the security people get paid about $58 a year. So there we go. And of course, for all the food, you know, they serve every day for breakfast, lunch, dinner, brunch, right? Someone has to make sure that's happening, you know, making it happen for all the restaurants, all the buffets, you know. So they have a food service director. Now, the food service director makes about $65 a year. So there we go. Now, of course, the captain, right? I'm always curious about the captain. So I really tried hard to figure out what this person makes, you know. When I did my 3 averages, I came out to $72 a year for the captain of the ship. So, I mean, again, of course, I might be a little off, you know, I'm not sure, but of the 3 that I had, that was the average that I found for the captain's position. That was about 72. And now we have the chief engineer. Of course, that's probably one of the most important parts of the ship. Also, to you guys, you might not even know this guy. You might not even see him, you know, and if you do see him, you probably want to know who he is anyway, right, or who she is, right? But they make about $74 a year for the chief engineer. And then you have, well, you have your chefs, of course, right? But then you have the executive chef, okay? The executive chef makes about $75,000 per year for that role. So there we go. That's a nice job, of course. Must be a lot of stress, so I can imagine being an executive chef. My God. Curious about too. This was hard to figure out because the averages here again was the ship nurse. The ship nurse makes about $101 per year, $101,000 per year for the ship's nurse. Now, this was, of course, it ranged again, right? But this was the average of the 3 that I found. That's what they make per year. Now, let's go back to the beginning of the video where it had on there the, you know, people like the servers and people like that, right? People were saying, do they have to pay for the food? No, they don't. Do they pay for their room and for their board, you know, and room? No, they don't. But they tend to have bunk beds in those rooms, right? They tend to have bunk beds because, you know, one person's at work, one person comes out, and back and forth like that, right? So they really make the most of their space. It's really squished version of their space. I'll make a video too to show you their quarters where they live, you know. And so, but I remember too, though, talking to my Navy friends from back in the day, the way the servers live on these cruise ships, a lot of my friends would call that luxurious, you know, because my Navy friends had a lot harder than that, you know, for sure. But they would consider that, you know, top class type barracks or quarters, you know. So so I hope this video helps you out. I just wanted to give you an update or, you know, look at what people are making out there on their cruise. Again, this isn't 100% accurate. I took the averages of the 3. And I thought that was the best way to do it. Take the average and show you guys what the averages are. And I think some people might say, well, that seems kind of low. But I mean, you're getting room and board, right? So you're not paying rent or mortgage, you know, on the ship at all, right? And also, too, you're not paying for your food. You know, those things are costly, right? Or your power, you know. So, I mean, most of those folks have families probably, you know. They're paying bills for other things, you know. Maybe they do have a house. Maybe they do have rent, you know. But I'm saying as far as on the ship, though, you know, the ship is taking care of a lot of those major type expenditures you would normally spend if you lived in a house or an apartment, right? Because your rent's already taken care of, and so is your power, your food, you know, and those are your basics, you know. So maybe the ship is doing some kind of compromise where they pay you a little less because they're taking care of the overhead, you know. What do you guys think about that? You know, let me know. Also, too, please subscribe to this channel. I really appreciate that. Getting some great comments. I want to tell you guys thank you for commenting back and forth. This is a community, and so I'm happy to see you guys here and commenting and adding such much value to the channel here. It makes me feel very happy. I feel like I'm on the right track here with helping each other out, you know, because some of you guys are helping me out, you know. It's great information I'm getting from you guys in the comments, you know, and it's just great to see because it means that we're a family and we're going back and forth, right? It's not just me going blah, blah, blah. It's a back and forth situation, right? And that's a good feeling, you know. So please keep on commenting. Let's keep it positive as always, you know, and let's help each other out on this channel for our cruises, okay? Thank you very much, and subscribe, please, comment, and like, and have a good day. Bye-bye.